Good evening. Well, I've been grafting away, hacksawing, filing, grinding. I've cut that piece out, which is going to be the mount for the flywheel spindle, which is here. We've decided to do that. So what's happening is we're putting that will go there somewhere. We don't know the orientation yet, but that will go somewhere there. Now on this edge it will need more than just a hole in there, so we'll have another support on the side, not as large as that, but somewhere like that. The other thing I've done some more work on the flywheel. So we're going to mount the flywheel and spindle and do that. So we're getting a bit interesting, because to be honest, I'm getting a little bit bored of filing and grinding. I've done this piece today, spent a while on it, and obviously you can see it's not finished, but that will make the mount for the barrel, you know. So that's that bit done. Also, we're going to try an experiment, and whether it'll work or not, we don't know. However, what I'm going to attempt to do is to drill the hole for the bearing in there. But I'm experimenting, so I'm doing it on a scrap piece. So you'll see that in a moment. Now, if we can get that successful, we will use that. If not, we'll have another idea. You know, that's how it works. Because what we've got to do is we need that mount there. I'll move it on a little bit. We need another mount, which I'll use this scrap piece for, just to show you, that goes there to hold the other end of the spindle, although it will be larger than that and different to that. We need another piece there, because for the way of my design, you know, it can all be changed, it doesn't matter. But that's the other piece we're going to try and do. And we need another one that side to hold the shaft that goes in the spool valve. So we've plenty of work to do. We've got this piece, for instance. I can cut some pieces off that. You know, we're not short material, that's the thing. And it's, as I said, you know, it's worked pretty well, really, hasn't it? My aluminium moulding, to be honest. So we've got all that to do. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just to show you an experiment and just see if we can drill a hole that's accurate enough to make a bearing for the flywheel spindle. So we'll get on and do that. Okay, we're conducting an experiment. I've got a scrap piece of aluminium clamped to the drill. I've got a drill there that is actually, I've measured it, 2 thou less than the spindle diameter, which, you know, now to get it to run free, even by hand, I could drill that by hand, and with either an adjustable reamer or the correct size reamer, it would be simple to do to get it right, but I haven't got one. So that drill is a couple of thou less than the shaft. Now there's two things. One is, on the flywheel, I would like to press it on. Now I don't know if I can or not. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we've nothing lost, because all I have to do is drill a hole at an angle and put one of those cap screws in. Drill it and tap it and put a cap screw in. You know, that's a simple job. It'll save me making a boss, which is totally unnecessary on this blooming job. It really is. And like I said, the flywheel is the one thing that, you know, we want to sort of get right. So I think the best thing to do is to proceed with mounting the flywheel and doing the flywheel shaft, and mounting the supports on the base. I think that's the best thing to do. Now what I've as I say, I don't know if this will work or not, but I won't come any closer than that because I'll go out of focus, but I've tried to make a reamer out of the same material. And what I've done, I've simply filed a relief there, and I've cut a slot in it, that's all, just one slot, just to see, because it's 1/2 thou bigger than that. Now because the drill wobbles, it'll probably even be right side. I mean, I could be lucky, you know, or it could be tight enough to press, to do the hole to press the flywheel on, you know. So either way, we could have struck luck with that. Now, just for the benefit of people who don't know what I'm talking about, because I do have one somewhere, you'll just have to bear with me a moment. Here we are. Right, this is what a reamer is. That is actually a taper reamer, but it is a series of cutting flutes, and this one's taper because it starts slow and goes up. But a straight reamer is parallel all the way down like that, and what you do is, if you bore the hole just a few thou less, and then you can do that. Now obviously if you have, you know, these really accurate milling machines, really heavy duty equipment, it does do a good job like that, but you could do it just as well by hand, you know. And aluminium is quite soft, that's the thing, it cuts well. So that's what we're talking about. Anyway, so all I've done is I've tried, and again I can't get quite close enough, I doubt you can see it on there, it'll be too blurred if I come too close, but I've just done a saw cut with one cutting edge. And of course the other thing is, because I've got to move the table, it won't be aligned perfectly. You know, we don't have dial gauges and dial indicators and digital readouts, you know, so we're just going to try it and see. Like I said, it's simply an experiment. So what I'm going to do is drill that hole very slowly through here, and then we've got to take it off, but I won't move it off the table. I've clamped it down well so it's quite solid, and then I'll just move it to the side, because we have to move it up and down because there isn't enough travel to use that. So we'll just do this experiment and see what happens. Cutting speed for aluminium, by the way, is a lot faster than for steel. So on a small drill like this, it's fairly good to do. Right, we have to move that to the side, and then we'll get the shaft. Well, there's a bit here. Try that. Well, do you know what? That drill has done such a good job. That's bird on the end. Let me get the one that isn't and just see. Because it's not perfectly true, look at that. I said we might get lucky. A little bit tight on the bottom, but that could be done. But look at that. All I have to do is drill through and wind it round, and that's got to be perfectly good enough. Now, if it doesn't work on the proper pieces, I'm not going to make some more, but we're going to have to get something else, you know. There'll be a piece of pipe, or there'll be something, right, that we can use, and then drill it out bigger and either press or glue it in, you know, it'll work. But that's, I thought it might happen, because you see, of course, this drill, it's a good drill and I'm really pleased with it, but it's not terribly, you know, there's a bit of play in this move, you can see the end of the drill move and all the rest of it. So this has actually worked well. It's worked well, hasn't it? Let's be honest. So let me just move the camera a bit closer to the vise. and we'll see what we've got. So that's the by the time that's gone round a few times, you know, look at that. Look at that. That's absolutely perfect. I've now decided not to put the crank pin in the flywheel. I'm going to make another piece to go on the end, just the smallest piece, because it's only got to be 1.5 inches of stroke. So I think I can use this piece and just cut a piece out. I don't know if you've seen it, with like a counterweight on the bottom end. It isn't a counterweight, it's just for looks, isn't it? And it's something like that shape, like that, and drill a pin in there, and I can slot the hole so I can alter the stroke, and then we just drill a hole just the same and put one of those little grub screws in the bottom to hold it on the end of the it's not the crankshaft, it's the flywheel spindle, right? So we're sort of getting somewhere. So I'll just get it again. So the flywheel spindle will go there, through a hole in there, mounted on there, which this experiment has been extremely successful, hasn't it? So I'll drill a hole through there. Then we need another pillar at the side to hold it a little bit further up, and then the flywheel goes on there, and on the end goes the crankshaft, right? And it's not actually called a crankshaft because that's the crank, isn't it? That's like a crank, you know. So this is why it's the flywheel spindle. And we can put one on the end and mount it, and then the connecting rod can come here. So it's got to be moved over. You know, the whole thing has to give us space, because it doesn't matter if it's on the side. If that's on the side, and the block, which I can use this for, sits there, you know, something like that. That will be okay, and then I can make a bracket. It doesn't matter if I have to put an angle on it, you know, because what I'm doing, you'll see anyway, you'll see later how it's going to work. I'm not doing a simple thing like some of them do, where you have the piston that's got like a little end on it, you know, so the actual connecting rod goes straight from the pin to the piston. That's why I'm extending the length, because the base was too short. Anyway, there you go. What do you think so far? We've had a bit of luck, haven't we, today? So, starting a bit of interest and progress. Right, thanks a lot. See you soon.